everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Emma and I create videos all about collage and colouring. But today I'm going to be doing a video about collaging. So I started this new collage journal, which is this tiny little one. So usually when I collage, I do it on like A4 pages. So I'm used to using bigger pages and having more space, but I thought I would give myself a bit of a challenge and get myself this little collage journal, and hopefully it gets my juices flowing, because to be honest, I've been neglecting my collaging lately. I've been collaging in my colouring books, but not independent collaging. So I need to start doing that again because I love it, and I have been missing it. So I've got this little book. It's just a Reeves book. It's just a plain white book. So I've already done a couple of pages to start. This is the first one I've done. So I just cut these two boys out, the snakes, and I wrapped the snakes around them, and then I put a little helmet on this guy. So not much, but that's what I liked about it, because my other collages that I do have got a lot of stuff in them. So I used all the negative space too, and I thought it worked really well. So as you can see, I've just wrapped those snakes around the boys' necks and put someone upside down and someone the right way up. So most of the pages in here will be double pages. I'm not planning on doing double page spread as such, but what I do want to do is the two pages that are facing each other, I want to make sure that they have some sort of theme that's connecting them in some way, whatever it is. So this way, this one here, the theme is cameras, and then obviously they've both got hands coming out the cameras, but the theme overall could just be cameras. So I'll start off with this picture here. So I've just popped a camera on there. I've made it like a little chemist, basically. So I've got all the medicine and there's hands coming out. And this little fella here is gone to the chemist and he's getting some medicine. So if you can see, I've cut out his head from a cartoon, and this is a photographic image of his body, and then some funny little feet there as well. So I like this one, but I do feel like there's something missing. I feel like there's got to be something coming up here, but I just haven't found it yet. But while I'm looking through my magazines and all my images for something else, hopefully it will pop out one day and then I can just put it in there. Now there's this one here. So with this one, what I did was I cut out a full magazine background and placed that on the back to start with. Then took this picture of this man taking a photo, took his head off and put this little girl in there. So if you have a look, it looks like the little girl's sitting on top of his neck, where his head should be, and she's focusing the camera. And then just down here is some little girls reading a magazine, and they're just sitting on one of the dials. And then as she's focusing the dial here, just down here, out comes a hand and out rolls his head. So that's his head that's supposed to be there. So when I'm doing my collages, I always like to do like little stories and just make up crazy little ideas. So that's that one. So now I'm going to start with these two pages. The theme that I thought I'll use is space. I do like using space a lot. So I've got a couple of books to have a quick flip through. See what we can find. So I've got mostly animal books because I'm thinking of like octopuses or something like that with big antennas. But I do also have this Spectrum book, which is one of my favorite books. This has just lots of different illustrations and images by artists. So I'll have a quick look through this, and sometimes there is really different things in here. So I'll have a super quick flip through here and see if we can find anything in here. I could maybe use this because I could have this coming from behind, and I can have her maybe hanging onto here, running down. So I'll cut that out. This is called the bug book, so hopefully there's something in here. Some type of bug we can use. Big spiders or something like that. I could use this bug coming out and so I could use that bug coming out and maybe grabbing hold of the astronaut. I'm hoping this one has some octopuses in. Oh, this must be from something else I was cutting out. They're pretty horrible looking. I might keep that. Ooh, it's quite ugly too. I'll keep that one. And hopefully we can find in here something. Just cutting this out because I do have an idea. It's a bit of a weird one and it might work, but I'm not sure. I'll have a look once I've got them all cut out. I will maybe cut them out just in case we end up using the sharks. Yeah, I'm just cutting out all different ideas and then I will go back and see which one works, because lots of times you'll find out that you have a good idea, but then when you try and put them down on the page, they won't work. Ooh, look at these. That looks pretty scary, doesn't it? Wowzers, look at this. It's a good one. I like that, but I don't love that it's black and white. I'm going to get it just in case because it does look like a bit of a, let's have a look at it close up with its teeth. It does look like a bit of a monster, space monster. So that might work. Yep, I'll cut that out. Be super careful with this one because it's right. The picture's going through the spine. There we go. All right, we've got a few things, so let's have a look at what we can do. Let's have a look. So I've got this little man in here, and let's see what we can stick in there. So the ideas I had for this one was this here, the vampire fish. That could be cool if it fitted. What else we have? Yeah, these evil looking creatures. So I had this idea of maybe, but I'm not sure if it will work, having these guys. So these guys here that I've cut out. Oops, I lost his little face. I'll put his little face somewhere safe so we don't lose him. So having these guys behind, kind of behind him here, looking down, and then cutting a hole in here and having something happening in here. So with much conversation between myself back and forward, I've decided to go with this one. So I'm going to have her, and I'm going to have her hand, she's going to be holding on to this. So it's like, I'll cut it out so she's holding onto that there. And I'm going to have this crazy snake thing. So like this is chasing her basically. So I might have her, this coming here. If I have it coming out this way and her holding on up here maybe, or even here, I'm not sure, whichever way it works, and then have this snake, I'll have it kind of coming behind him, maybe, and coming out there, and she's there. And then I will take his tail and I'll try and add a little bit of his tail on the back end here. So I think the first thing is to try and get this guy on because he's really complicated to get on. I'm going to stick this little man's face down and also stick the ears down. So I'm actually just going to use sticky tape for this. It's the easiest way for me to do it without making a mess. So sometimes I just can't bother getting the glue out. Okay. Pop it on there, I won't stick it down, and then I can move it around, see exactly where I want it. There we go. There we are. We'll have to stick those ears down. I've come up with this off camera. So what I've done is I've cut everything out and just placed it on. It was really, really hard and doing my head in trying to get this in the right position, but I got it in the end, and I'm then going to make this tail come in so it fills up here. With this here, I'll take this off, but with this here, you can see a little bit closer. I was going to have her hand either holding onto his hand, but I thought in the end it actually looks better if it is clinging onto that little rope there. So now all I've really got to do is stick it all down, and then once it's all stuck down, I can finish one page of my book. But I'll show you another thing I was thinking about doing. So with this weird little monster here, which from the book that I got it from says it's a vampire fish, an olive green codfish freckled with brown spots. I've never heard of that before, but it looks absolutely terrifying. So the other idea I had was to stick this hat on and these two arms, and so to try and make it look a little bit like a bit funny. But then I thought, although it looks cool and I did like it, it doesn't really go with the picture. I like it when it looks like really scary. So I'll stick all that down and then we'll go from there. Okay, and there we go. There's the first one done. So a couple of things I don't like. I cut quite a lot up here and here when I was trying to work out where to put this thing. So I was moving them all around and I was cutting behind here, and I've just like made a bit of a mess. But it doesn't matter because you can't really see it unless you focus on it. But I think that turned out pretty good. And so now for the next side. To start with, I was going to put this picture on this side and the other picture on the other side, but when I actually placed it in the book, I thought it looked better coming from the outside of the page, like coming in instead of the other way around. So the next ones is these ones here. So I have cut the paper. To fit. And then I'm just going to place the boys on the page, and then once they're on the page, I will just trim them down. So the pictures that we chose to do for these, I might use this planet for this one. We had some funny fish, didn't we? Some scary looking fish. I quite liked this thing to come out of the computer. I thought that's pretty creepy. And then we did also have this big octopus here, because we could just use the tentacles. We don't have to actually use the octopus. And the other option I had was the sharks. So we could have maybe some sharks swimming in the background, and then maybe a shark coming out of the computer. So I could do that. So what I might do is I think I might chop up some sharks. I might chop up the octopus, and then I don't think I'll go with this because it's not big enough. I want it to be really large. And these fish actually look good because of how they're dark and they'll fit in with the background. But I just don't think the only fish that is really facing to come out of here It's really probably this one, but it's too big, or this one. And this one doesn't look scary. It looks a bit funny. So I think I'll scrap that idea too. So I'll cut these out and then we will have a look and see which one will work better. Okay, so I've cut all the sharks out. I'll see what the sharks look like first, and then if they don't look great, then I'll go to the octopus. So quite like this shark coming out here. I might try, I can always keep hold of them, and I might try, let's have a look what would be with the octopus tentacles. I've decided the octopus is the way to go. So I'm going to use all the tentacles here. I'm going to have some coming out of the computer and maybe something coming in from the side. I want to be able to wrap them around them, so somehow I'll have to cut them so they can wrap around their arms or their heads or something like that. I might have this big long one coming out of the computer, but I'm going to mess around with it off screen, and then I'll come back when it's all in the right place and we can see how I managed to fit them all in. Hopefully I can. I've done it, and you know when you start those things and you think it's a good idea at the time, and then halfway through you think it's terrible. That's what happened, because making sure that these fit around and behind, there was a lot of little intricate cutting and it was just a pain. And to be honest, I didn't take my time and it's a bit of a mess, but that's the point of having this book that I'm doing. It doesn't have to be perfect. So with my other collages, I make sure everything's cut perfectly. But with this book, it's more about fun and experimenting, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to stick that in the book, and then we will have a look at the total page layout. So there you have it, my finished spread. Let me know which one you like the best. I can't decide. And that was a lot of fun to do that. Not a lot of pressure, which I like. And yeah, it's great. So I don't know what the next theme's going to be for the next double spread. If you guys have any ideas about what theme I should do, that'd be amazing. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Can't wait to fill this book up. Bye.